Congratulations, you just got the call that you have been hoping for. Hi, Laura. We'd like to offer you the position of customer support manager starting at $60,000 a year. What do you do next? A, accept immediately. B, start negotiating. Or C, ask for everything in writing to be sent over to you so you can review, letting them know you'll get back to them within a specific time frame. Hint, the answer is always C. Great, now that you have a little bit of time, now it's time to watch this video so you can negotiate like a pro. Hi, I'm Laura, a career relaunch coach who is here to take your job search from stressful to successful. Now, before we dig into the nitty-gritty of negotiating, I need you to shake off your limiting beliefs around negotiating. Now, I realize that this probably isn't in your comfort zone, but I also need you to know that you are fully capable and worthy of negotiating a compensation package that you deserve. Now, I actually just worked with a client to negotiate her salary, and she walked away with thousands more. But on top of it, she was coming off of a 4-year career break. She had never negotiated before, and she was pivoting into a different part of her field. So if she can do it, I promise you that you can too. Now, I have broken down this video into 4 sections. The first section focuses on the employer side of the hiring table. The second section on the employee, or AKA your side of the hiring table. The third section covers an actual script that you can use. And the fourth section are some additional helpful tips. Now, if you are looking to work with me one-on-one to help you with your specific situation, I will leave a link in the description below. So let's get to it. First thing we're going to cover is the employer side. And I actually don't see a lot of videos covering this, but I think it is so important to understand how they are playing the game. Because once you understand that, you are better able to set yourself up for success. Now, what I'm sharing with you comes from my 17 years of working in HR and recruiting. Point number 1 is that companies are used to negotiating. And I say this because so often job seekers feel awkward about negotiating. They feel like they're doing something wrong, or they should just be grateful for the offer. But in reality, companies are expecting you to negotiate. So don't feel as though you are doing something you shouldn't be doing. Companies are used to it. Point number 2 is that companies do not want to go back to the drawing board when it comes to filling a position. And for that reason alone, they are willing to give you more money, because the time that it has taken, the energy it has taken, the money it has taken to not have a position filled is enough to motivate them to get this offer closed. And point 3 is that the majority of jobs have salary bands. And this is important to you because within that salary band, it's very unlikely that the first offer an employer gives to you is going to be at the very top of that salary band. With that knowledge, you know that there's room within that band to negotiate. And when you have this knowledge, then you won't feel as weird about it because you're like, well, they already have the money there. I'm just not asking for it. And point 4 is that HR can usually only go so high. So if you do come back to negotiate and you're met with, oh, I'm going to have to go back to the team to discuss, a lot of people freak out at that moment. They're like, oh my gosh, did I just jeopardize my chances? What are they saying? Are they talking about me not being a fit, or are they talking about rescinding my offer? Whew, hold up. Generally not. And that's because they just need to get that stamp of approval from the team before they can extend a higher offer to you. And the final point on the employer side is that the company is open to negotiating more than just your base salary. Now, I know for job seekers, the base salary is the one that they fixate on the most. But if they're not willing to budge on that, perhaps they would budge on the sign-on bonus, on the bonus structure, on PTO. There are things that can be negotiated outside of just your salary. Now let's move on to the employee side. aka the side that you're probably most concerned about. Now, here is my first point, and this one is so important because at this very specific juncture where you have received an offer but you have not yet said yes, this is a window you will never, ever have again at this company. And you need to take advantage of that. Remember, you have something that they want. You are solving a problem. They do not want to start all over. And point number 2 is that you need to know your value, your impact, the benefit that you will have when you join that company. And you already should know this because in the interview you demonstrated that, but it's important to tie it back again when you come to the negotiating table, because trust me, if you are asking for, let's say, $20,000 more, but the project that you're going to be taking the reins on has the potential to make them another $200,000, well, in that case, you are definitely worth another $20,000. And it doesn't always have to be as obvious as a monetary value equals a monetary value. There are other ways that you can show your value as well. And point number 3 is that you need to know your numbers. When I say know your numbers, I mean you need to know what the actual number is you want. You also need to know your walk away number. Like, what are you like, yeah, this is just not going to work. But you also need to know your numbers that you're basing your numbers off of. If you're asking for $100,000, but in that specific industry that you're working in, it's averaging 60 to 80,000, then 100,000 might be a reach that they're just not able to do. And you would know this if you knew your numbers. And the next point is that you need to enter with a collaborative approach. Now, this is the one area it could go awry. If you come in demanding a certain amount, that is going to come across, as somebody they probably don't want to work with. So if you approach it from the perspective of how can we reach this number, that's going to come across much better. So go in, yes, knowing what you want, but approaching it from a way of how can we reach that. And finally, you need to review your offer letter with a fine-tooth comb. When you get an offer letter, most people's eyes are just drawn to that one number, which is your base salary. But if you have a bonus structure attached to your position, then you might say, hey, this is lower than I'm expecting, or I'm giving up this bonus at this company and I need a higher bonus here, or your PTO days, your benefits. Not to say you can negotiate your benefits as far as your medical, dental, and vision, but it will give you a better sense of what that impact is to your actual pay if you understand the premium. So I need you to go through that sucker very thoroughly. And when you do that, I want you to write down any questions, any clarifications that you need from the company. And yes, this is going to come into play when you have the conversation about negotiating. Now, let's get to the part that you're probably most nervous about, and that is, what should you say? Let's actually rewind this a bit to the very beginning when you get the call about the offer. Hi, Laura. We'd like to offer you the position of customer support manager starting at $60,000 a year. Thank you so much. I'm excited for the opportunity to work with ABC Company. Before accepting, I'd like to review the complete compensation package. Could you please email me the offer letter and the benefits package, and I'll review everything and get back to you tomorrow morning. Sure, I'll send it right over. Now, this is where you need to review everything and write down all your questions, everything that you need clarified, because you're going to need this for the next day when you start negotiating. All right, let's fast forward to the next day. Hi, Laura. Have you had a chance to review what I sent over to you? Yes, I have, and I am thrilled to have an offer to join ABC Company, and I'm excited about the prospect of working with the team. I'm ready to dig in and get to work on reducing ticket volume and improving team morale. Before responding, I do want to confirm a few details about the compensation package. This is where you can ask all of the questions that you have, but do not, and I repeat, do not start with salary. You are going to keep that conversation until the very end. So now that you have your questions answered, you're going to say. Thank you for clarifying those. I do have one final point I'd like to discuss, and that is salary. Based on the outcomes I'll deliver, would you be able to offer a first-year total compensation package of $72,000? I'm open to collaborating on how to achieve this, whether it's through an increase in base pay, sign-on bonus. I'm happy to discuss ways we can get there. There's a strong likelihood at this point that they're going to say they're going to have to go back to the team to discuss. And this is okay. There's nothing to be alarmed about. Let me go ahead and consult with the team, and I will get back to you with what we can do. Great, thank you. I'm truly excited about working at ABC Company, and I look forward to reaching an agreement so I can join the team. Now, at this point, they are either going to come back to you and have a different offer, and you can make the decision whether or not that you want to accept that, or they might say that we're unable to budge. And at that point, you will have to make that decision. Now, I don't recommend going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You really have one good shot at negotiating a salary that you want or that you're comfortable with. And that's why all the work needs to be done up front. If they come back with a number, that's probably the best that they can do. And if they say that we're unable to move it at all, then you really do have to think about if it's something that you're okay with. Now, here are some final negotiating tips. And tip number one is that you need to be okay with silence, because sometimes when it comes to negotiating, we feel awkward and we want to fill that silence. So let's say you just said that you're open to getting to your preferred compensation through collaborating with them, and they don't immediately respond. You might feel the need to jump in and say, or, it doesn't maybe have to be 72,000. I'm okay with 70. No, just shh, just be quiet. It's never exactly comfortable to sit in silence, but sometimes it is needed. And tip number two is that if you are interviewing or have received other offers, yes, you can use those as leverage when you are negotiating, but be careful on how you do this, because there is a proper way and a not proper way. I'm interviewing with XYZ Company, and they mentioned that their range is $20,000 more than yours, so that's what I'm going to need to accept this role. In full transparency, I'm in the final interview stage with XYZ Company, but honestly, I'd rather work for you. If we can get to $72,000, I'll accept immediately and cancel the final interview with them. And finally, recognize that negotiating is short-term pain for a long-term gain. Yes, those couple days might feel a little bit awkward, but think about years into the future when you have a higher salary, higher bonuses, higher retirement. That's going to be worth it. Not to mention the fact that you're just going to feel good that you tried, that you put the effort forth to get more money. Because one of the worst things is always wondering what if you would have tried to negotiate? Because if you don't, you're just going to kick yourself. And also realizing that the majority of people who negotiate do get something more. So the odds are in your favor. And if you are looking for how to stand out in an interview so you actually get the job offer to negotiate, then check out my video here.